Hi and welcome to cheekyricho's Pea Ham Soup. Aaron has a new pressure cooker and he is after a recipe for pea and ham soup. We have a ham hock here, which is basically the end of a leg of ham that we've had, and we're just going to score the meat on that, cut a few chunks off it. Don't get too serious, it's going in the pressure cooker. It's going to be lovely and moist and succulent, and a lot of the flavour will come out of the bone, so throw that in as well. The meat will fall off the bone, it'll be perfect. A couple of potatoes, onion, carrot, bit of garlic. We're not going to salt it at this stage, and we are going to add some cracked pepper, and these are dried split yellow peas. Now normally these would have to be soaked so that they wouldn't be like little bullets, because they actually sound like bullets. The pressure cooker will render those really soft, and it'll actually thicken the soup. It really will turn almost into like a paste a little bit. So we're just going to peel our vegetables, prepare our soup. An hour later we'll be sitting down to a delicious, hearty, economical meal. So let's get started. Now we've just cut our potatoes into dice, about half an inch cube or about 1/2 centimeters cube. We've got our carrot, likewise, onion, same, and some crushed garlic. Now we have got our ham bone. Now the butcher is going to charge you something obscene like $10 a kilo for that, and it's really waste. So I've cut everything off it. It's very lean. You can see there's the skin that's come off it. It's got a nice smoky flavour, very little fat, but there is an immense amount of flavour in that because it's been smoked and it's cooked. So we're going to pop that into our pressure cooker. Now these little split peas I showed you, have a listen to this. This will give you an idea of how hard these little guys are. So just into a pressure cooker, tip those in, and that's what they're like. They're like, can you hear that? Like beads. Okay, in with the rest of our ingredients. Now you can add whatever you like to this. You could put celery, you could put any other, parsnip, turnip, the usual. But this is just going to be a pretty run-of-the-mill pea and ham soup. The carrot gives it a little bit of colour, and it also gives it that nice added sweetness. So in we go with all of that. Our garlic, our chunks of ham, which you can see are really not chopped up very well at all. It's been, not that I've been lazy, but it's going to have a nice texture to it. And in with our bone. Straight in on top. The bone's going to be discarded after the cooking's done, but every amount of nutrients and flavour will be extracted from that in the cooking process. Now we're just going to cover it with some cold water. Okay, we've got about 2.5 litres of water in there. Onions are floating, don't worry too much about that. That looks like a lot of water. It's really going to be absorbed by those split peas. So in with some cracked pepper now. We're not going to salt it at this stage because ham's quite salty, and you can adjust the seasoning at the end of the cooking time. But the pepper will impart a lovely flavour. You can throw in a bay leaf, some celery tops, whatever you like. This is just for a nice flavour. We're going to bring this to the boil. Once it comes to pressure, pop the lid on and cook it for about 45 minutes. And that should have released all of the meat from the bones. Soften this meat so that you can just squash it with a spatula, and the vegetables will be well and truly cooked, but they'll still have a little bit of texture as well. So onto the stove we go. Okay, 45 minutes later, a moment of truth. We're going to remove our lid from our pressure cooker, and somewhere in there is our bone. There it is there. We're going to remove that. You can see most of the meat has actually fallen off that bone. On the end of that bone there are other little pieces of bone which will be in here somewhere. There's one there. They're the little knuckly bits there. Those pieces of gristle or cartilage will just come off quite easily. Probably not so easily on a slippery silicone thing, but you can see it just pulls off. And just be careful, there could be a few more in there because it's just the nature of the beast. Now this will thicken a little bit on standing. If you want to reheat it again tomorrow, it'll thicken even more. If it's still a little thin for your liking, just boil it without the lid on it to allow some of that moisture to evaporate. But we're just going to serve that up. Make sure you've got plenty of the ham pieces in there, and check that out. And there you have it, cheekyricho's pea and ham soup. Little crack of fresh pepper on there. You can put some parsley, whatever herbs you like actually. Sage is nice with this. I hope you enjoyed this little cooking demonstration. If you'd like to see more interesting recipes and ideas, just check out our cheekyricho channel, and don't forget to please subscribe, and do come back and visit us again soon. We have so much more to show you, and we're uploading lots of videos every week, and thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely day. A little taste, shall we? Some of our ham, some of our vegetables. Oh, this is smelling so good. First day of winter, bring it on. You can squash that meat against the roof of your mouth with your tongue. You don't even need to chew it. It is that tender. Thanks for watching.